among the Ahl Kitab there are such people and Islam reaches them, it is impossible for them to reject it because they are already submissive to the will of Allah and their behavior in reaction to the message of Islam would be completely different from the rest of the Ahl Kitab. So already in that case they are forgiven and they are accepted. And if it doesn't reach them, it's not their fault. They are safe with their Lord and they will die and they will end up a happy ending and they will not be rejected. So this is the meaning and there is no contradiction in the two verses. Yes, please. So Mr. Abdul Rashid said you work like a catalytic agent. You know, reactions which normally don't take place, in your presence they begin to take place. And the minds become active and activated. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. My question is about the verses of the Holy Quran where it's related to when Allah selected Hazrat Adam to be the caliph in the world, and then the verse says that he taught him some name of some objects, and then he asked the angels to tell the name of those objects, but they couldn't, and Hazrat Adam did.
The word object is not mentioned. Allama al-Adama asma kullaha.
Yes, that's right. I mean, some name.
Allama Adam al-Asma Allama Adam al-Asma kullaha. These are the words.
Yes. Now the question is, I mean, it seems a bit unfair. I mean, he taught Adam some knowledge. I mean, he gave that knowledge to Adam.
Yes.
But it's not mentioned that he gave the same knowledge to the angels as well.
Exactly.
How could I mean, it seems a bit unfair. I mean,
this is exactly what is conveyed to you. That the angels had the erroneous impression that they were superior people because they knew so much about Allah and there was no need of any other creation. So this is the point which was to be made clear to them. It was to be demonstrated to them that whatever you have got is a gift from Allah. By yourself you have nothing. If you make a new creation and teach that creation certain names, as you call it, or some other qualities, or intimate to that creation are attributes, as you understand the asma to mean, then they will know it and you will not know it because you have not taught to you. So the knowledge comes from Allah, that is the lesson. So the angels are not rejected because they have less knowledge. The angels still stand, they retain and hold their same station. What is told to them is that true superiority comes from Allah. And nobody has any superiority in himself, no merit by himself. If Allah bestows something on someone, he becomes a recipient. So it also teaches complete humility. If somebody has been gifted more than any other creature, he should not become proud and arrogant and say, look here, that thing has not got this and I have got this. Because this lesson tells us that everything is from Allah, nobody has got anything from himself. This is what Hazrat Masih Maud has stated in one of his verses, that sab kuch teri ata hai, ghar se to kuch na laye. All that we have has been gifted by you. I haven't brought anything from our homes. I mean, that's a beautiful expression. So I have not brought anything from our homes. Everything is yours. So that is the true meaning of this verse.
Thank you.
Yes, please. So where are you doing all this time? I've seen you after ages.
Well, our car, it had an accident, so we couldn't come.
And you also lost your cap in that accident?
No.
No?
No, forgot to bring it.
Yes, yes.
This question was asked in the BT class. Most Quran Majids, they don't have a translation with them. So, they just by themselves in the Arabic. What is the use of reading in the Arabic when you don't know the meaning of it?
Yes, there is an advantage and a benefit in reading in the Arabic. Number one, if you don't know to read in the Arabic, you will not know the meaning of that verse in Arabic. And there is a great difference between a translation and the original, and it will always remain so, however good the translator be. Number one, no language can be truly translated into any other language. Not even Punjabi. It's an ordinary small language, yet there are words so descriptive and words belonging to certain situations which are found only in the Punjab because they belong to the cultural habits, for instance, of the Punjabis. So those words are impossible to be translated into any other language. And similarly, English words, there are certain which cannot be truly translated into others. But the Arabic language is different in this respect, that it is the richest in meaning. It's so rich that there is no comparison to be made with other languages. And each word has very wide applications and a great number of inflections within the words can mean quite different things. Alhamd, for instance, if you begin to translate it truly, you would go on speaking on it for hours and writing pages after pages, and still you won't be able to exhaust the true meaning of Alhamd and its distinctive nature, in which Alhamd stands alone as compared to other praises. But in English you say praise. In Arabic, Hamd means a different thing, Sana means a different thing, Mada is a different thing, and they have their own connotations. So, but in the translation of the Holy Quran, you will read it as translated praise. All praise belongs to Allah. But praise is a very poor word to translate or to indicate the true meanings of the word Alhamd. So, this paucity of the meanings of other languages, the meanings contained in the words of other languages, that would require different translations. And people go on choosing one meaning to another, preferring one meaning to another, and making differences in various translations. Now this may also lead into some troubles. Some people choose one translation in one word and another translation in the other word, while in the undercurrent of meanings, if you have chosen one translation in one word, in the second you are not left with choice sometimes. You have to choose the corresponding translation in the second word which is coming. Suppose there are two words and each of them has 7 meanings. Now it is not possible to accept one meaning of one word and choose any of the 7 meanings of the following, because out of the 7 meanings of one word and out of the 7 meanings of other words, it is possible that they have pairs and they have threads which have to be woven scientifically, systematically. One meaning is adopted here and a corresponding meaning will have to be adopted in the other word. And people may make mistakes. And also they may translate words according to their own likings, with the result that a reader who is not well versed in the Arabic language